with DJ, obviously can play guard, can play tackle.
Yeah.
Guard last year, we've seen him primarily at tackle. Is he better suited in your eyes to help your team as a right tackle?
You know what? He's been, obviously it's tough for me to tell because we still got Campbell's out and Rivers is still out, you know, but I'll tell you what, Scaife, I'm glad you brought Scaife up because no one talks about DJ Scaife. And he's a guy who's been awesome since he's been out here. He's got a tremendous skill, and he's a great listener. And I think that's one of the most overlooked abilities that an individual has, but especially as an athlete, especially a football player, where you could tell DJ something in the classroom and immediately he'll put it into action on the field. And to me, that's a gift. That's as important as a vertical, that's as important as your 40 speed, and he really possesses that. So right now, he's proving that he can play right tackle at a high level. You know, so you know, we're gonna keep him there for a while, and you know, once Campbell comes back and Rivers come back, our job is to play the best 5 guys. You know, how are we gonna get the best 5 guys on the field? So right now, he's working his tail off, but he's been, you know, no one ever talks about DJ, you know, because he's quiet and he's unassuming. But to me, I'm like, man, you know what? That dude right there, he's earned his way to the front of the line just because of what he does on the field and what he does in the classroom. And again, I'm very impressed by the fact that you tell him something and he puts it into immediate action on the field. And I truly believe that that's a gift. And I tell them all the time, the greater the player, the lesser amount of reps he needs. I really believe that, and he's kind of like that. So I've been really, really, really pleasantly surprised by him, you know, and love everything he's doing.
Coach, Frank Ponce, I know you know him well.
Yeah.
What's
Guilty.
he like? Guilty. What's he like? Personality and also his coaching style as a coach. What makes him special?
Yeah, he's a teacher. He's a teacher. So both of us for years we were high school rivals, okay. Right? He was at Miami High. I was at Columbus. He played at Miami High. I played at Columbus with Coach Cristobal. We played against Frank, and then we became rivals in high school, where I was always at a rival school to him. Whether he was at Central, whether he was at Northwestern, we was at Miami High, whether he was at Coral Reef. So we had an adversarial relationship, you know, and then Coach hires me at FIU, Coach hires him at FIU, and they put us next to each other in offices and kind of hey, figure it out. So hey, we both kind of figured it out together, and we became brothers through that. So he's one of the brothers in my life that I've chosen, and I'm one of the brothers in his life that he's chosen. So he's very special to me. He's like a brother to me. And because we learn the ropes of college coaching together.
What's his style?
He's a teacher. He's the ultimate teacher. I can tell you this right now. He can go and coach the offensive line, and he can go out and coach the wide receivers, and he can coach defensive line and defensive backs because he's had to do that at the high school level. He had to do that. When he was the offensive coordinator, the head football coach, and the offensive line coach at Miami High, he was all those things at one time. And you're coaching whatever comes in your doorway. And so he's the ultimate teacher. And so am I, so we kind of kindred spirits that way.
Kind of intense. Is he as intense as you? Is he kind of mellow?
Oh, I think Frank's a little bit more mellow than I am. You know, I'm more on edge kind of guy. You know, but that's just who I am. But he's a great teacher of the game of football. But if you put him, he could teach volleyball. He could teach baseball, softball. He's just a teacher. He's a teacher, and he's a guy that doesn't skip steps, you know. And but I could talk about Frank all day because that's a brother to me.
What's it like being on a staff where, you know, half the guys are from South Florida, especially from Miami?
You know what? It's great because you have pride from where you come. You know, no matter whether I was at Huntington, West Virginia, or whether it was in Eugene, Oregon, I was always proud to be from the 305. You know, I was always proud. This is always home. It's always been home. It'll always be home to me. So I'm always going to be proud of being from here. And I would say it's the same thing with Steve. I'd say it's the same thing with Coach Cristobal. It's the same thing with Frank. You know, it's the same thing with Kevin Smith. You know, it's awesome. It's awesome when we're on the same staff together, pulling to bring our city what we all want. You know, because our fans want the same thing we want. They want the same thing that the players want. They want the same thing that my mom wants, right? They want to see the Hurricanes win, because when the Hurricanes win, it's good for college football and it's great for the city of
Alex,
Miami.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Where does center stand? Is it a competition with Ja'Kai and with Logan? Which of those two is better suited to guard?
Logan hasn't taken a rep at center. You know, only Ja'Kai and Lawrence Seymour and Ryan Rodriguez, they're the ones who've been taken. And Usman took reps at center today. I think, in my opinion, I think Ja'Kai Clark could be one of the upper echelon centers in the ACC. That's my opinion on it. So, and I think it's my job to keep helping him get better. And he's done a tremendous job of becoming, he's starting to display the leadership that you need when you have your hand on the football. So I'm extremely, extremely happy of where he's at and his growth, and I think he's a heck of a football player, and we're lucky and blessed to have him, because it's hard to have that guy. It's hard to find a center. So when you find one who can do what he can do and put all those guys on the same page, I think it's special, and I think he's got the ability to be special.
So how about Zion?
Z?
He's remade his
Zion.
He's remade his body a little bit. He looks like in better shape.
Yeah, you know, Zion's what a great story, right? I guess he showed up here at 235 pounds, right? Whatever many stars he had, but he became a star, right? And he's quiet. He's quiet, but he's a hard worker. He wants you to push him. He doesn't want you to tell him, hey, good job. He wants you to tell him, hey, how can I get better? You know, so you know, I didn't know his body before. He looks like a Greek god, right? I mean, he looks, you know, the way he's built and the way he's put together. So whatever he's done with his body, but I know he's built his body up, because he came in at a lighter weight, I believe, from what I'm told. He's got unbelievable feet, right? So to me, as an offensive tackle, yeah, everybody wants guys that are 6'6", 6'7", but do you have feet? Do you have feet? Can you dance? Can you dance out there? Can you recover? Can you get yourself out of trouble? And he can. So he's been blessed with that, and he's got a tremendous work ethic, and he's extremely intelligent kid, and what a great young man he is. So he just keeps rolling. Yes.
How much cross training?
You know what, we do a lot of cross training from January through the start of spring ball. So we cross train everybody. So every drill that we do it from a left-handed and a right-handed stance, right? And then once spring ball comes, I try not to mess with them too much. So Zion was cross-training at right tackle, left tackle, right, during the winter conditioning. Now with spring ball, he's strictly playing on the left side. We'll go back to cross-training once spring ball's over, through the summer till fall camp. And I really believe that, because I owe that to Zion. I owe that to Campbell. I owe that to Scaife. Why? Because when you get drafted, you have no idea who's drafting you, right? We had a great player out at Oregon, Sewell, who was a left tackle for 3 years, left tackle. No one was going to beat him out. But we cross-trained him the whole time. And I told him this. I said, listen, Panay, you're not going to get beaten out at left tackle. It's not going to happen, right? I mean, he's gifted, right? It's not going to happen. But you don't know who's going to draft you. He gets drafted by the Detroit Lions, where they got an established left tackle who they're paying millions and millions of dollars to. Hey, guess what, Panay? You're going to play right side. So we owe it to them for their future, but we also owe it to ourselves. Last year, the program that we were at, we ended up using 22 different offensive line combinations because of injuries, things of that nature. So it provides you with versatility, but at the same time in the future, it benefits those young men. So that's how you sell it to them. And they buy into it completely, because anything that's going to help them get better or in the future, you know, because when you go to that next level, right, that you're only going to take 7, 8 offensive linemen to a game. So you better have position versatility. If you don't have position versatility, they'll cut you and keep somebody who might be a lesser player, but has that versatility. So that's what we're doing. You know, not doing it much right now, because we're into the thing, and I'm trying to let them master something. But we will start up on that again. And it's something that Coach Cristobal and I have always believed in.